Every day, animals around the world face struggles most of us can't even imagine. From icy rivers to raging wildfires, from abandoned streets to dangerous oceans. Their survival often depends on a single moment of kindness. Today, we bring you some of the most powerful and emotional animal rescues ever caught on camera. These aren't just rescue stories. They are reminders of humanity's greatest gift: compassion. Story 1. Dog saved from frozen river. In Russia, on a freezing winter morning, bystanders spotted movement in the middle of a frozen river. At first, they thought it was just a shadow under the ice. But soon, they realized it was a dog, trapped and desperately fighting for its life. The poor animal had fallen through thin ice and was unable to climb out. Without hesitation, one man stripped off his jacket and jumped into the freezing water. The temperature was below zero, and the current was strong. But he fought his way toward the struggling dog. The crowd on shore gasped as he broke the ice with his hands, pulling himself forward inch by inch. Finally, he reached the terrified pup, wrapped his arms around it, and dragged it back to safety. The dog, shivering and weak, wagged his tail in gratitude. People rushed forward with blankets, covering both the man and the animal. That day, a stranger's bravery gave a helpless dog another chance at life. And millions around the world watched in awe when the video went viral. Story 2. Koala saved from wildfire. During Australia's devastating bushfires, flames consumed everything in their path: homes, forests, and the lives of countless animals. In the chaos, a woman named Tony spotted a koala running in panic as the fire surrounded him. His fur was singed, and his tiny body was covered in burns. Tony didn't think twice. She ran straight into the smoke, took off her own shirt, and wrapped the koala to protect him from the flames. She poured water over his burns, whispering to calm him as he cried in pain. The koala clung to her as she carried him to rescuers. He was later named Lewis, and though he eventually lost his battle due to the severity of his injuries, his story became a symbol of the compassion that shines even in the darkest times. For millions, Lewis represented the countless voiceless victims of the fires and the people who risk everything to save them. Story 3. Dolphin freed from fishing net. Off the coast of Hawaii, a group of divers were exploring coral reefs when they noticed something unusual. A bottlenose dolphin swam toward them, struggling. As it came closer, they realized it was tangled in a fishing line. The line cut into its fin, making it impossible to swim freely. Then came the most remarkable part. The dolphin seemed to understand. It swam right up to one diver and hovered there, as if asking for help. Carefully, the diver pulled out a knife and began cutting away the net. The dolphin stayed calm, even twisting its body to give the diver better access. After a tense few minutes, the last piece of fishing line snapped free. The dolphin swam in circles around the divers, clicking and squeaking, before leaping out of the water in joy. It was a moment that showed not just the intelligence of dolphins, but also the unspoken trust that can exist between humans and animals. Story 4. Kangaroo hugging his rescuer. In Australia, a baby kangaroo was found wandering alone after its mother had been killed. Weak and frightened, it was taken to a sanctuary, where caretakers gave it food, shelter, and safety. One caretaker in particular became close to the young kangaroo, who was later named Abigail. Every morning, as soon as she saw her rescuer, Abigail would hop forward and wrap her little arms around him in a hug. As she grew older, the hugs never stopped. Today, Abigail is known as the hugging kangaroo, a gentle giant who embraces her caretakers every single day. Her story became famous worldwide, proving that animals don't just survive because of humans. They can also love, forgive, and give back more than we ever expect. Story 5. Whale thanks rescuers. After being freed, 7 o'clock to 8:20. Off the coast of California, a fisherman spotted something massive floating near the surface of the water. At first, he thought it was driftwood, but then he saw it move. It was a humpback whale, tangled in hundreds of feet of fishing rope. The ropes dug into her skin, and she was slowly dying. A rescue team rushed to the scene. For hours, they worked in dangerous waters, cutting away the ropes piece by piece. The whale remained calm, almost as if she knew they were trying to help. Finally, the last rope fell away. But instead of simply swimming off, the whale did something incredible. She began breaching, leaping out of the water again and again. She slapped her fins and tail on the surface, staying with the rescuers for nearly an hour. Many believe it was her way of saying thank you. Story 6. Stray dog adopts orphaned kittens. In a small village, rescuers discovered something remarkable. A stray dog had been spotted lying in the corner of a cold alley, but when they got closer, they saw she wasn't alone. Curled up against her belly were several newborn kittens. The dog, who had no home and barely enough food for herself, had adopted the kittens as her own. She kept them warm with her body, licked them clean, and even protected them from other strays. When rescuers brought them all to a shelter, the dog refused to leave the kittens' side. Eventually, the story spread online, and soon a family stepped forward to adopt them together. That stray dog had nothing, but she gave everything to those kittens. Her selflessness touched millions. Story 7. Elephant rescued from a well. In rural India, villagers woke up to the sound of loud cries echoing through the night. When they followed the noise, they discovered a young elephant had fallen into a deep well. The frightened animal thrashed around, unable to climb out. The villagers immediately gathered, calling for help. For hours, they worked together, bringing ropes, machines, and even an excavator. The elephant grew weaker, but the people didn't give up. Finally, after a long struggle, the rescuers managed to carve a path for the elephant to climb out. The moment it stepped onto solid ground, it let out a loud trumpet that shook the air. The crowd cheered. It was the sound of freedom, a cry of survival, and a thank you to the people who refused to give up on him. These incredible rescues show us something important. Kindness isn't limited to humans. It's a universal language that every living being understands. Whether it's a stranger diving into icy waters, a woman risking her life in flames, or a dog giving warmth to kittens, these stories remind us that compassion has the power to change the world. Which rescue touched your heart the most? Share your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories that prove humanity's greatest strength is empathy.